Mark and Sarah were the kind of couple people whispered about, not because of drama, but because of a love that seemed unbreakable. They had been married for 15 years, shared 1,000 cups of coffee, and built a home filled with laughter and the smell of jasmine. Mark was an architect, always focused on building strong foundations. He thought he had built a life that was earthquake-proof. But the earthquake didn't come from the ground. It came from a doctor's office on a Tuesday afternoon. The diagnosis was stage 4 cancer. The months that followed were a blur of sterile hospital hallways, the rhythmic beeping of monitors, and the smell of antiseptic. Mark watched the woman he loved, the woman who was the color in his world, slowly turn pale. He became a shadow of himself. He stopped working, stopped seeing friends, and grew bitter. He hated the sun for shining while Sarah was suffering. He hated the sound of people laughing outside their window. He felt that if Sarah's life was ending, his life should end too. One rainy night, the room was silent except for Sarah's shallow breathing. She took Mark's hand. Her grip was weak, but her eyes were incredibly clear. She tried to speak, but her voice was a thin whisper. She pointed to the nightstand, to a small, sealed envelope. "Not yet," she whispered. "Read it when the silence becomes too loud." That was the last time she spoke. 2 hours later, Sarah was gone. And for Mark, the world went completely dark. Weeks passed. Mark lived like a ghost in his own house. He left her clothes untouched, her coffee mug exactly where she had placed it. He felt that moving forward was a betrayal. He believed that by staying miserable, he was keeping her memory alive. He was angry at her for leaving, and angry at himself for staying. The silence in the house became deafening. It was then that he remembered the envelope. With trembling hands, he opened the letter. Sarah's handwriting was shaky, but the words were powerful. It read, "My dearest Mark, I know you are sitting in the dark right now. I know you feel that the world has ended. But I have a secret to tell you. My love for you wasn't a cage. It was meant to be your wings. If you stop living because I am gone, then everything we built was for nothing. You spent your life building houses of stone, but I want you to build something else now. Build a life of purpose. Don't just survive the day, Mark. Live it for both of us. Go find the light again. That is the only way I can truly live forever. Through your happiness." Mark sat on the floor and cried, not with the bitterness of the past weeks, but with a sudden, overwhelming sense of release. He realized that his grief had become a wall, and Sarah wanted it to be a bridge. The next morning, for the first time in months, Mark opened the curtains. He went to the local community center and volunteered to design a garden for a children's hospice. He started painting again. He started talking to people. He realized that death is not the opposite of life. It's a part of it. Today, if you meet Mark, you'll see a man who carries a quiet sadness, but an even greater joy. He learned that the best way to honor someone you've lost isn't to die with them, but to live the life they can no longer have. Sarah's last words didn't just change his life, they saved it. Because love doesn't ask us to stay in the dark. It asks us to be the light. Remember, your story isn't over just because one chapter ended. There are still pages left to write.